get started. All right, Anna, there's no such thing as perfection. The only thing that matters in life is how much you try to do the things that you love. Okay, I'm starting this new thing called the monthly recap of where my mind's going, how's life doing, and how's business going. Hello, everyone. My name is Anna, and I'm the founder of Annaverse Media Group. And on this episode, I would like to do like a one-on-one sit down to kind of give you guys an overview of what it feels like to be an entrepreneur in this social media world that I'm building, especially for the people that felt like their voices may have been suppressed due to whatever beliefs of other people's projections of you, so that one day I can look back at it and be like, wow, Anna, you never gave up on the things you wanted to do, which was storytelling, whether that's through video form, photography, or just sitting down talking face-to-face with whoever is watching. Because I think at the end of the day, humanity at its core is all about sharing experiences and stories. And so I wanted to make this specific series about like a monthly reflection of what I've been learning in my personal growth journey alongside building a business. And it's crazy to say that now, like I think I had imposter syndrome for a really long time, owning up to this idea that, wow, I'm now registered as a sole proprietor to get paid for something I love to do, which is insane. And because I've never went to school for cinematography, I had not understanding of how to operate a camera, to lighting situations, to even drafting scripts and writing. I feel like I was all over the place, but I just kept doing it anyways and kept learning and learning. And so here I am. The transformation of becoming the person that you're meant to be is such a beautiful journey. You gotta believe in yourself enough to see yourself at the best version of you. And you have to act like you are that version right now, no matter what you have, how much money you have in the bank, or, who you are currently. Because if you're constantly striving and acting like that person that you already want to be, then your body, your action, your mindset, your environment will catch up to you. So that's what I've been learning in a nutshell. All right, so June recap. First thing that I learned in the month of June, I went from a freelancer to now thinking like a business owner. And what I mean by that is as a freelancer, you're super specialized in what you're good at. So whether that's photography, writing, editing videos, shooting, or whatnot, you're kind of like the sum of the parts of the business, right? Because that's kind of what you do on a repetitive basis, but you have your own style and people rely on you because you are good at that work. While I was building my business, Annaverse Media Group is all about the post-production stuff, the creativity, and it's almost the way that I see it is like I'm creating a film production team for social media specifically and adding business layers to it. So there's more intentions and purpose behind the stories that we're telling online. So how can I put systems in place where if I can't handle the workload myself, I have backup partnerships and people I can rely on to offload those projects? So one of the things I did recently was I got in touch with like an AI video editing production team in India. And it was my first time actually offloading any of the tasks to that team and understanding the process, the technology, and like the workflow of how the editing thing worked was a big game changer, because now it felt like I was finally growing my team little by little and kind of getting away from the mindset of a freelancer and then completely trusting and offloading some of those tasks so I can actually focus on the clientele, the sales and marketing part, which I think I'm a little better at anyways. I love video editing too because of the creative process. But I also realized in this path of like growing my businesses that I really enjoy getting to know people and what their goals are and bringing their visions to life and organizing that process so that I can just let the artists do what they're best at. In that way, I can continue to work with people that I like and the creatives that have such amazing talent to deliver the best results for my customers. So anyways, that's kind of the business angle that I've been kind of going at. I'm excited because things have been going on a positive direction. Of course, there's some times where I'm like, oh shit, this is not working. That's not working. But I think part of entrepreneurship is to be able to overcome those doubts and overcome those challenges that chip away at your confidence sometimes. But it's really up to you to continue to keep going and striving towards what's going to work out in the long term. Second thing that I've been learning is you gotta keep your circle small. Naturally, I am an introvert, but an introverted people pleaser who kind of sometimes tends to overextend herself and overcommit to different things, especially if you have a lot of close friends that you truly care about. But sometimes you cannot be there for everyone all at once. And as much as, you might be missing weddings to birthdays to, meetups and whatnot. And entrepreneurship could be such a lonely journey because not only are you trying to create an entire system to help you get paid, but what I've noticed is that as you change and as you grow in your business, the people around you will change too. And the people that you used to share fun stories, memories, and even parts of your personalities that were compatible before might not always feel the same. You can't let everybody into your life because you only have limited time on this earth to spend it on exactly how you want to live it. The last thing you could ever do in relationships is to try to control somebody else. And so a big lesson that I learned this year is it's okay to let go of some friendships and even business partners if they're not aligned with your values and your long-term goals. Compromise and negotiation and building something with people that you truly care about is important. But I think when you're at the really early stages of building your business, and this is where I am right now, the more that I focused on me, the more that my business was actually growing in the right environment. And so, keep your circle small, but also be very respectful to the people that you are letting go to, because at the end, sometimes those people might come back into your life in different ways or forms. So I think it's having integrity behind your actions and words, and even the relationships that you're cultivating, creating that community of people that you can trust and grow with. If that growth is missing, I feel like for me, that doesn't interest me anymore because I really want to just continue focusing on a positive trajectory of where I'm going in my life. And not everyone will understand that, and that is okay. All right. So third important thing, taking care of your health. Health is so important. Health is wealth. There are times, I think for a good 8 to 10 weeks, I was sleeping at 2, 3 in the morning, trying to finish deliverables for customers. And then I'd get up at 8, 7, go to workout and do all the things. And I was just networking. I was all over the place. And I feel like I took a hit on my health. Luckily, I didn't get too sick, but I did notice my energy levels going down and that I was relying on coffee too much. And I don't know, I was just mentally couldn't think, and there was so much brain fog and anxiety that I feel like I've made some poor decisions. And so what I did to overcome this period of overwhelm and stress and whatnot is actually cut down on coffee. And I started this 30-day tea series.
Hello everybody, and this is day 29 out of 30 days of no drinking coffee.
Damn. Your health will sometimes take a toll when you are going all in to whatever it is that you're building. And I think building in public is a really fun way to just keep pushing content out there and getting some sort of feedback from people, because how are you supposed to know who your audience is? And marketing nowadays is all about being on social media and buying from people, because there's so much AI bullshit out there and people are relying more so on this intimate conversation piece. Anyways, and so I started this one small thing to get me back in the habit of just restoring my peace and energy. The results were great, and I'm still drinking tea. And I did go back to coffee just to kind of test out how I felt after the 30 days. And to be honest, I don't love it as much as I did anymore. Who is she? So I don't know. I'm still sticking to tea. I think one of the biggest things why health has become such a priority for me, on top of everything else, making money and whatnot, is because a few years ago, girl got diagnosed with Bell's palsy. And if you don't know what Bell's palsy is when half of your face just gets paralyzed. Western culture says it's like a undefined, a flu type of thing where it just comes out of nowhere. Eastern culture says it's because of stress and blood circulation and whatever. So I believe more on the Eastern stuff. So I remember I had to go to acupuncture every day, take a pause on work, and then eventually I got my facial muscles back. But that was not a fun time. It really made you question a lot about your self-worth and image, beauty, and I don't know, how much we tie our self-worth to the way that we look. And it was a rough time, and that helped me to kind of recenter and refocus on health being the number one thing for your life. Because without health, you can't do much, right? So value your time, your energy, and build a discipline around becoming the best version of yourself. Next thing is always be open to learning and growing from every setback that you experience. Times when things don't go the way that you plan, our ego takes a hit. For me, I take things a bit personally. Why didn't this work out? I think building business for me has been the most beautiful, challenging, enlightening, personal developing experience I've ever had in my life. And what I mean by that is a few weeks ago, I lost a contract deal because I just couldn't scale my business to deliver to the quality of what the customer wanted. They technically wanted 800 videos to be re-edited. And I'm like, I cannot do 800 videos in a time of like 1 month. It was an insane ask. And so I did everything I could to make it work. But at the end, it just wasn't realistic, neither the time or the budget. It could have been such a game changer in where I am right now. I just knew I couldn't handle it. And so at the end, I did my best to give what I could, and the customer wasn't on the same page with it. And that's totally okay. At the end, I just told the customer, hey, I think right now my business cannot scale at the expectations of what you want. So it kind of fell through. And what I learned from that experience is I need to learn how to systemize my business better. The first point that I was mentioning earlier in this video. And also to set my goals more realistically and to really hone in on the type of customers I'm trying to cater to as well. Because you are fully responsible for making your own money and you don't live on a paycheck. So you got to go out there and make it work. But at the same time, you can overextend yourself, trying to chew more than you can bite, trying to bite more than you can chew. Whatever that saying is, I felt that. Long story short, I learned from that experience to go into a better direction of where I was heading with my business. Fifth thing that I learned is stop worrying too much about the way you look. Instead, worry about the way you really feel. Ever since I started making content more consistently, I've been getting a lot more traction from strangers that I've never met before, from India, Philippines, Canada, US, and random ass places. People commenting or resharing. One of my videos blew up that I barely put any effort into. And I was just getting a lot of eyes on my channel. And in some ways, because I'm studying about content creation every day and the strategies behind it, I felt this like rush to continue making content, even if it didn't really resonate with me, because I just wanted to like ride that wave of all these new followers. In some ways, it gave me a little bit of imposter syndrome, and being an introvert at heart, like all this attention, and I'm not like at 1 million followers or anything like that. But to have like more than half of your followers be people you've never met, it is kind of scary, you know? And so I think I started to worry a lot more about the way that I looked on camera. Like if I don't go to the gym enough, or if I feel like my face is getting more puffy or my arms look too big, I started getting a little bit of insecurity that I need to upkeep this brand and this look. But then that got me to slow down and become more self-critical in the way that I was showing up for myself. And so now I focus more on what am I creating that helps me feel better and that will help somebody else feel better too. So focusing more so on the value-driven content that inspires me to actually make content like this and to show up as myself talking to my younger version or people that might be able to relate to me on this aspect and this level, rather than trying to be like everybody else. Because I would love to be, Jun Yu or Emma Grede or the hot, smart, rich girl, I forgot her name, and all these Gary Vee, all these pastors that I listen to because I'm so inspired by them. But the truth is, I'm not where they are yet, but maybe I'm on my way there. Because at the end of the day, we're all doing the same things. It's just how long have you been doing this for? So the common thread that I've been hearing from all these different business owners and content creators is that you have to bring the most value that you can to the people that are watching, rather than worrying so much about the way you look or trying to beat everybody else so that you can pick up on this algorithm and get on this trend and whatever. And even the funny thing is, sometimes I would get feedback, you're not that great of a marketer, or that you need to speak more clearly and more confidently in front of the camera. Bitch, at least I'm doing it. Those kind of feedbacks kind of pull me back or make me feel a little bit more insecure. But at the end of the day, I remind myself that this is just literally day one. And watch me in 6 months. Consistency, I'll be like owning this. The only competition to me right now is myself. Did I show up better than yesterday? Did I do the things that I said I was going to do, even if it takes me a little bit longer? And did I keep my promises with my customers? I think that journey of letting yourself just claim your time and your worth and how you view yourself is such a powerful journey in getting you to the next level and just going tunnel vision in what you got to do. At the end of the day, everyone will have something to say about you, whether you like it or not, whether that's your mom or your dog. Sometimes your dogs can be so sassy. Just be you and just show up as yourself and make sure you're always putting value at the forefront of whoever you're talking to. All right. The next thing and final thing is number 6, stick to the plan and not how you feel. Your feelings can trick you quite a bit. Like the stories we tell ourselves based on our past, our traumas, our relationship with our parents, our dysfunctional families, our toxic exes. There's so many stories to make you feel so shit about yourself. But when you have a plan and a vision that is so much bigger than your excuses, you just got to stick to it. Your mind will always trick you to prevent you from doing the things because you're scared. And fear comes from the lack of confidence to do something on repeat because you haven't just done it enough. I had so much anxiety and self-doubt when I moved out. I think like first month, I was like, hell yeah, I'm in a new place, finally in my new crib, whatever. And then May hit and I was like, oh my God, I gotta get money. Oh, how am I gonna pay rent next month? How am I gonna do this and do that? And so I went all into like just putting myself out there, starting that like 30-day series and just scrambling for like, how do I find more customers? And I figured it out. I did it, even though it was like fucked up. And then I went through some breakups from like different relationships that fucked me up too. Cause I'm like, there must be something wrong with me. And then got me to feeling like, oh, all of the self-doubt. But my plan was like, to always be a content creator and to show up on this because I feel like there's so many ways to like find community and to like, I don't know, there's just this dreamy world I have, but I'm not gonna lie. The scariest thing was instability with my money because I've been unemployed for about 10 months now. Since then, I went all in to my business. Somehow I managed to bank around 11K in the past 6 months. It's not a lot, but it's enough proof for me to know that I stuck to the fucking plan, no matter how I felt in the past few months. Because if I didn't stick to the plan of saying, I'm going to move out, moving out is scary right now because moving out as an unemployed individual is high risk. But at the same time, it doesn't mean I don't have the skills to make money, whether that's in photography or videography or editing or whatever the heck. I just did it and I continue to do it. Because my feelings are temporary. I will have ups and downs and twists and turns. Every time I feel sad, my grandma did it during World War II. So shout out to Grandma, RIP in heaven, who's always watching out for me because she stuck to the plan. Even up to her death day, she had clothes that she bought from like 30 years ago from this random dude that was selling funeral clothes in preparation for her death. And she had it kept with her all these years. She just had a financial plan to take care of her family all to the end of her life. I miss her. So knowing that I come from a lineage of someone who was a single mom for more than half of her life and seeing that she survived World War II, like nothing should stop me. Let's go Korea. Anyway, so she stuck to the plan and no matter how you feel, I know there's so much emotions going on, especially with media world that we're living in. There's so many opinions and voices that is not yours. And I get why that could really fuck people up. But stick to the plan on what feels true for you. And yeah, you'll be in a happier place. That's pretty much it in terms of my reflection of June. That was quite a bit of a long one. So if you stuck around this long to hear me blab on about my life in the past few months, thank you so much for staying. And if you like this content, I'll catch you next month on what I learned in the July recap. So anyways, thank you so much for listening if you made it this far, and comment, subscribe, all the YouTube-y things, and I hope to catch you next month. Thank you. Bye.